His honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone and the sincere. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video on this video that was put up by GMS News 1. And the video was just going into, a big list of events that happened literally over the weekend. All right. Literally over the weekend. So, these times, man, it's getting rough, man. It's getting real rough. And these things is happening. They're happening right in front of our face. These prophecies, I'm gonna put a link. I might have posted. I might do both. I'll post it and put a link in the description, of this video, going into the big list of prophecies that's been kicking off, man. Just literally over the weekend. All right. So, real quick video. Nothing drawn out. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he had made right. So even though we don't have like an ETA of, when this society is going to crash, when the Lord YAHAWAH, when the Lord YAHAWASHI is going to come back, for the deliverance, we have an idea of when these things are going to be. Because what did he give us? He gave us signs to look out for. Remember the book on the beginning of Matthew 24. Remember he said it's something like he sat on the Mount of Olives, and his disciples, came and asked him, well, what are these things that we're supposed to look out for? You know what I mean? In the end days, so it can indicate what time we're in, right? You gotta remember, we're on the Lord YAHAWAH's time, so it ain't no, this is gonna happen December 15th and in 2030 or something like that. You know what I mean? Number one is progression. When society's full, they slowly do it, right? These things don't usually, and I say usually, happen overnight. And as the scriptures say, the more somebody does wickedness, the more the harder the punishment is going to be. Right. Let's continue on. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. There we go. That's what we've seen pretty much all throughout this video. And it's in a little short and just summed up all the stuff, like I said, that just happened over this weekend. So it's really ramping up. The days are getting shorter. It's really ramping up, man. All right. This is why we don't have time going back and forth with people over the comment board. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, then you just don't. We are out of time, pretty much. You know what I mean? The doors of mercy are not going to be open for much longer. You know what I mean? We're out at when we out there, when the highways and on the hedges. This is why we don't waste any more time, man. We can't. The things that we used to do years ago, that's why you see things have changed. The things that we used to do some years ago, go back and forth with people or dialogue with them a little bit, I guess, which you're supposed to dialogue. I'm not saying you aren't supposed to. But if they don't get it, it's to a certain point, man. It's just like, okay, what the hell would you go ahead, man? Because we have a job to do and we don't have time for it. We are seriously out of time, man. We are in urgent times. Right? It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things which shall, Salakia, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. It says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right. Even so, the times of the highest have plain beginnings, all right, and wonder and powerful works. All right. It says, and endings and effects and signs. So we're out of those times of those wonders and powerful works. Like, you can see somebody, the Lord sending an angel down here to, or one of those men like Elijah, doing, or even Paul, healing people and, actually just straight up healing people right there on the spot. Those are beginnings and powerful works and wonders. Well, right now we're out of those times of powerful works and wonders, and right now we are in the time of signs and effects. You know what I mean? You might see something happen, like omens. There's a such thing as omens. In fact, one of those omens, for whatever they said it was a huge dust storm, and I think West Australia, I think, and the sky turned bloody red. All right, that was in one. That was so. That's what you could say is an omen. Part of those effects and signs that we're looking at is what we've seen all throughout the video. In fact, you see one of them right now on the screen. All right, the war with Iran has officially expanded, and once again, as the guys said on the video, which means it's getting bigger. All right, it's getting bigger. It doesn't. It's not showing any signs of letting up. You remember that World War III we've been talking about? Even let's say for whatever reason that this isn't it, like like the World War III, which is shaping up to be honest. But I'm just saying, let's just say it's not. Well, this is another step forward towards it. All right, this is a serious step towards it, because now everybody's starting to get involved. These people are they launch missiles at Israel now. All right, so now everybody's getting there, get a little 2 cents in with this war, man. So that's why it's pretty much shaping up to be the World War III. But again, only time will tell. But it makes a whole lot of sense, right? So those are signs and effects. Earthquakes in diverse places, meaning commotions in diverse places, whether they be riots, whether they be wars, whether they be actual earthquakes, whether they be any other natural disaster. Those are signs and effects. So, it comes to show you that we are in plain ending here. We're approaching the end of the end. Clearly it's really starting to show itself now. No question about it. All right. So, Lord willing, this little lesson was edifying. Like I said, I'm going to link this video, definitely put it in the description, and I'm going to post it. But this is a really, it's a short, just news update, man. Try to get people away from that WJZ, that Fox 45 and whatever else, main, CNN and all them other crazy news stations, man. Come to the real news. You need to download that Newsbreak app. That's a good one. But there are many more, probably even better than that. All right. So anyway, giving all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKWADASH. Shalom.